Hello, welcome to this video. Are you a supplier interested in doing business with the United Nations? If this is the case, then please do come along and see how easy it is to become a potential supplier to the organizations of the United Nations system.
Hi, my name is Makena. I am the general manager of a small business manufacturing masks and other personal protective equipment in Senegal. My company supplies masks and personal protective equipment to healthcare institutions and NGOs throughout Senegal. I'm ready to expand the business to new markets while helping others. I have always envisioned to support the work of the United Nations, but I've never seriously considered it. I always thought it would be difficult for a micro, small, and medium enterprise like mine to approach such a complicated and intimidating market.
Hi, my name is Google and I work for the United Nations Global Marketplace. Contrary to popular belief, the market represented by the organizations of the UN system is suitable for micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as, of course, large corporations. There are a number of reasons for this. Firstly, the majority of purchase orders issued by UN organizations are below $50,000. Therefore, the value and magnitude of these contracts is easily within reach of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises. Secondly, the UN market is safe. As long as the contract obligations have been met, payment is guaranteed. In fact, UN organizations cannot enter into a contract without first having secured the financial means to do so. This greatly reduces the risk of doing business. And finally, it is a good training ground for companies to build experience and strength for export. Keeping in mind that many commodities that are procured by UN agencies are procured in one location and then exported to the country where they will be deployed. In order to do business with the UN, we recommend prospective suppliers to conduct market research and to familiarize themselves with the UN organization's procurement requirements and procedures. Indeed, the UN system, and thereby the UN market, consists of a multitude of specialized agencies, funds and programs, affiliated programs, and many subsidiary bodies, as this rather detailed organizational chart shows. But don't worry, we will help you navigate this. These entities have different mandates with different procurement requirements depending on their areas of intervention, and as such, each constitutes a distinct and separate market. The procurement procedures are largely the same across the agencies, meaning that once you know how to do business with one of these agencies, you can do business with any of them. At first, this market may seem complicated and intimidating, and it can be overwhelming to know where to start in order to approach this market, especially for smaller organizations like Makena's.
Hey Makena, do you remember that business seminar I attended last year? There, I heard about the United Nations Global Marketplace. It could be a good place to start.
What is UNGM?
UNGM is the United Nations Global Marketplace. It is the common procurement portal of the UN system. It is a website that brings together procurement staff from 29 UN organizations and the global community of suppliers that want to do business with these organizations. These 29 UN organizations are responsible for 98% of the annual UN procurement spend, which was just under $20 billion in 2019. They are represented by more than 10,000 active UN staff members that use UNGM. There are currently over 266,000 registered suppliers on UNGM. And 74% of these are micro, small and medium-sized enterprises.
The UN system has created the UNGM platform to simplify the access of prospective suppliers to the UN market. I'm sure that it will help you in your market research and to approach the UN market.
Great! I will investigate the UNGM platform. How can I access it?
To access the UNGM site, please go to ungm.org. This is the UNGM homepage.
I can see there is a knowledge center. Let's see what I can find in there.
The The Knowledge Center on the UNGM provides relevant information and tools to help prospective suppliers in their market research and to help them approach the UN market. First, let's visit the Doing Business with the UN area. The Knowledge Center has been designed to centralize a wealth of information and resources about the UN system and the UN market. Here you will find dedicated areas. Let's have a look at these in detail. Under the area the UN System of Organizations, you will find information on the structure of the UN system itself, as well as a directory to the organizations. Under the section The UN Market, you will be able to learn more about how to supply the UN agencies. This includes information about UN procurement procedures, as well as tips and tricks on how to do business with the organizations. Under the section The UN Agencies, here you will find dedicated procurement profiles of each of the organizations detailing their mandates and their scope of operations, as well as the type of goods and services that the agencies require. Under the Meeting the UN Agencies at UN Business seminars, you will find information on past and present seminars, as well as information that has been shared at these events, including presentations as well as other informational materials. In addition, you will also be able to find very useful statistics on the Knowledge Center about UN procurement. This is the annual statistical report on UN procurement, widely known as the ASR. It is a report that provides data and analysis on UN procurement activities. In order to download the ASR, click on the UN Procurement Statistics box on the homepage, and then on Report. You can also access interactive dashboards by clicking on the data box. Use the categories to get exactly the information you are looking for. In this case, we are using the country filter.
This is going to help me a lot in my market research. What else does the UNGM offer?
UNGM enables any company interested in doing business with the UN to register with 29 UN organizations by simply completing one single registration form. UNGM also provides public and free access to UN procurement opportunities and contract awards. The registration on UNGM is the first step for a company to do business with the UN. Indeed, for many UN organizations, registration is a mandatory requirement. The registration is free of charge and is available for all incorporated entities. The online registration only takes 10 minutes and is available in 7 languages. One of the core principles of UN procurement is to solicit offers from a diverse range of suppliers. It is also to provide equal access and fair opportunities to all prospective vendors in order for everybody to potentially do business with UN organizations. The United Nations also has a special emphasis on sustainability, on buying locally and regionally where and when possible.
I'm not completely sure about this. It looks quite hard. All these organizations, mandates, and procedures. However, I have nothing to lose. It will only take 10 minutes to complete my registration, and it's free of charge. How should I start?
The first step is to create an account at ungm.org. To do so, click on the Login and New Registration box, and then on New Registration. Create an account for your company. Read the Supplier Code of Conduct, complete the required information to create your account, and finally, activate your UNGM account. The second step is to complete the registration form at basic level. Once the account has been activated, suppliers are required to complete the registration form at the basic level. This registration level is common to all companies registering on UNGM and is required by all agencies. Complete the 6-step registration process by providing details about your company. Once the registration is completed, you will have the possibility to register at additional levels, level 1 and 2. These levels are not used by all agencies and are optional. They refer to differing contract value thresholds. If an agency requires registration at these levels, you will be informed accordingly. As part of the registration process, you will be required to select codes that describe the goods and services your company can provide. In this example, we are typing mask into the search bar. The system will return all applicable codes matching this search. Click on the code that best suits and describes your products. Should you require help, visit the UNGM Help Centre. It contains more than 100 support articles which will assist you with the registration on UNGM and to participate in UN procurement opportunities. To look for support articles, you can use the search bar. Simply type a keyword and relevant articles will automatically be suggested. Browsing the different categories can also be helpful to find relevant support articles. To do so, go to the For Potential Suppliers section and select the relevant category.
My company is already registered with 29 UN organizations. It was so easy. And now, what is the next step?
Registering on UNGM means that your company's profile is visible to UN staff members when sourcing for potential suppliers. It is therefore a great springboard for you to introduce your products and services not only to the different UN organizations, but also UN procurement personnel in the different regions and countries in which the UN operates. Once your company is registered on UNGM, you will be able to participate in procurement opportunities. After registering your company on UNGM, it is important for you to remain proactive. We recommend that you, firstly, log into your account on a regular basis. Secondly, update the account information if and when required. And thirdly, systematically monitor UN procurement opportunities. UNGM is the primary tool to monitor UN procurement opportunities. Being the common procurement portal of the UN system, UNGM centralizes the vast majority of UN procurement opportunities and contract awards that are published by UN agencies. These business opportunities are publicly accessible and are free of charge. At any given time, there can be more than 700 active procurement opportunities available on UNGM that are published by over 50 UN organizations and affiliated bodies.
How do I find UN procurement opportunities?
To find UN procurement opportunities, visit the Business Opportunities page on UNGM. On the UNGM homepage, click on the Business Opportunities tile. On this page, you will find all procurement opportunities published by UN organizations and affiliated bodies.
There are indeed quite a lot of procurement opportunities. How can I ensure I only identify the relevant ones for my business?
In order to identify relevant procurement opportunities for your business, do not hesitate to use the search and filter criteria. You can filter by UN organization and beneficiary country from the advanced search criteria. It is also recommended to use the UN SPSC code filter that enables to filter procurement opportunities by goods and/or services.
I might not always have the time to search for procurement opportunities on a daily basis. Is there a way to be alerted of relevant procurement opportunities?
If you do not have time to monitor on a regular basis the procurement opportunities that are posted on UNGM, the UNGM offers an added value service called the Tender Alert Service. This service is optional. It comes at a cost of $250 per annum and enables you to receive email notifications every time a relevant procurement opportunity is published on UNGM. Thanks to the Tender Alert Service, you'll be alerted of the latest and most recently revised procurement opportunities which have been published on UNGM. You will only receive relevant notifications for your products and services, and all of the notifications will be emailed directly to you. Here you have an example of a Tender Alert Service email. At the top, suppliers will find the new procurement opportunities that have been published in UNGM matching their products and services, and thereafter any revised procurement opportunities. Suppliers are also able to express interest in these opportunities directly from this email.
I can see that UN Secretariat has published a request for expression of interest for the purchase of personal protective equipment for COVID-19. How do I participate in this procurement opportunity?
There are two different means of participating in procurement opportunities with UN organizations through the UNGM. Firstly, the traditional way, which requires a hard copy or an email submission of the proposed tender. Secondly, electronic submissions, utilizing the agency's e-procurement systems that have been integrated with the UNGM. For hard copy or email submissions, the Express Interest button will be disabled. When hovering the mouse over the button, potential suppliers will see the indication that this procurement opportunity does not require an electronic submission. Details for participation in this opportunity will be provided in the procurement opportunity details. It is important that potential suppliers carefully read all of the information and documentation provided in the opportunity. If any doubt arises, please contact the UN procurement officer in charge of this particular procurement process. His or her contact details will be provided in the procurement opportunity. In the case of procurement opportunities requiring electronic submissions, the Express Interest button will be displayed in blue. Clicking on the Express Interest button will redirect potential suppliers to the relevant UN organization's e-procurement system, where the bids and proposals must be submitted. All instructions relevant to accessing and submission are provided in the organization's e-procurement system, as well as often provided under the procurement opportunity details in the Documents tab.
I will carefully read the documentation to find out more about the requirements and the process to participate. In doubt, I can always reach out to the UN procurement officer in charge of the process.
Most UN organizations publish their contract awards on UNGM. UN contract awards are accessible publicly and free of charge. After creating her account and having submitted her proposal for the first time, McKenna should now focus on monitoring UN procurement opportunities and/or subscribing to the tender alert service. In addition, she should make sure her company information is always up to date and amend the information if and when necessary. For example, McKenna produces surgical masks, but she's now expanding her product range to include gloves. Therefore, she should update her UNSPSC code selection to reflect this new product range.